Hello, this is Mark Sabatella from Outside Shore Music. In this video, I'm going to talk about what is kind of a pet peeve of mine, and it's the idea of trying to learn intervals and learn what intervals sound like by associating them with songs. So I'm sure most of you have probably done this at some point. You learn that a perfect fifth, for instance, sounds like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And then, a major sixth is My Bonnie or whatever other song you learn for these things. And that's all well and good, but there's a fundamental problem with this approach, and that is by associating an interval with a song, we only learn what it sounds like on those scale degrees. And typically, it's scale degrees 1, 3, and 5 because most songs start off with a tonic triad, 1, 3, and 5, and therefore their melodies are going to emphasize 1, 3, and 5. So the leaps that we have are going to be leaps from 1 to 3, 3 to 5, 1 to 5, 5 to 1, 5 to 3, etc. So in particular, perfect fifths, all our perfect fifth songs are scale degrees 1 to 5. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, right? It's scale degree 1 to 5. Or Star Wars, right? The Star Wars thing. Not my Star Wars. That's the Bill Murray lyrics. So most of the perfect fifth songs are scale degrees 1 to 5. What about other perfect fifths? Now, I'm not going to claim it's useful to find every other possible use of a perfect fifth and learn a song for it. You might be able to do that, but then if you try to do the same thing for every single possible use of a third, every single possible use of a major third versus a minor third of a perfect fourth, you can end up with a list of like 100 songs, and that's not going to be practical. But going through the exercise of really listening to what that perfect fifth sounds like on different scale degrees might open up your ears a little bit and give you some, better hope of being able to either sing it when the time comes or recognize it when the time comes. And this all came about because just last week, I've thought about this a lot, but then last week I was doing a demonstration, and the idea of the key of C and having a leap from 2 to 6 came up, and instantly a song came to my mind because I had just been playing a recording of that song for a class the day before, and it's the Prince Igor theme from Borodin, and it goes something like this if I transpose it into C. Something like that, right? Scale degree 2 to 6. And it also was made into kind of a pop song, show tune, Strangers in Paradise. So that's an example of perfect fifth leap that doesn't sound like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star because it's on the 2 chord, not on the 1 chord. And it starts off basically a 2-5-1. Yeah, the original is more of a diminished chord, but I'm a jazz guy, so I think in jazz terms. So what I'm going to do is go through the other perfect fifths that appear within the major scale and just mention other kind of jazz standards that use them. As soon as I talk about a leap from 3 to 7 over that 1 chord, I hear Emily. That's a song called Emily. And, maybe you don't know any of these songs that I'm picking, but hopefully maybe this gives you incentive to go try to search your own repertoire of songs to find examples that work for you. So that was a leap from 3 to 7, and it fits over the 1 chord. The top note happens to be the major 7th. The next perfect fifth we get is from 4 to 7, and this is going to appear within a 4 chord, but it also would appear within a 2 chord where that top note is the 7th. And the first song that came to my mind was the end of In the Wee Small Hours of the Morning. That's the way something like that, right? It leaps from 4 up to 1 over that 2 chord. And then puts a 5 and a 1 on it. So we get that example. It also shows up in Alfie, right at the beginning. And again, it's on that 2 chord, which is going to be where you're going to most often find that leap from 4 to 1. The next leap we have is 5 to 2. And this fits a G7 chord, right? Or a 5 chord. And then we expect it to resolve to 1. So it feels like the end of a song. Or maybe in a jazz context, instead of literally playing a 5 chord over the whole thing, you might play a 2, 5, 1. And okay, not one I've ever played in a jazz context, but I grew up listening to the Man of La Mancha soundtrack, and there's this thing where Sancho's singing about why he hangs out with this crazy windmill fighting pseudo knight Don Quixote, and he's like, I don't know, I just like the guy, and he sings about all these crazy reasons why he likes the guy, or why he shouldn't like him but likes him anyhow, and it ends, I don't know, make me da 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 da, and I like him is the closing line of that song. So that's another perfect fifth. The last perfect fifth that we're going to find within a major scale is scale degree 6 to 3. And this one, I don't think I've found the song I really want to use yet. So I mentioned Stardust, and in the key of C, it starts off with a 4 chord. Right? It goes from a 4 to a minor 4. Now, I love that 4 to minor 4 motion. It happens in a million songs, but somehow the placement of that, I don't know, it's in the middle of the line. It doesn't feel like the strongest example I could find. I just didn't think of a stronger one. Now, what I think is somewhere is a song like that Man of La Mancha song that probably ends with a 2 to 5 to 1. As the chords, with the melody going 6, 3, 1. Probably there's a song that ends exactly like that. Just can't think of it at the moment. There's probably many of them, actually. So, again, this needed 6 songs just for perfect fifths. I would need 6 more for perfect fourths. I need a bunch more for major thirds, major 6, minor 6, etc. It's going to give you a big list of songs if you really try to find every interval, starting on every scale degree where they're found in the major scale, and then throw in minor scales too. It's going to get an overwhelming list. You're going to have 100 songs on your list. So I don't really think you can memorize your intervals this way, but maybe it can open up your ears to the different ways that a perfect fifth can sound, so that when one shows up and you're struggling to sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star to it, maybe something clicks and this kicks in and gives you some value. In any case, I thought it was an interesting exercise to go through, and I might go through it with other intervals just for fun and see what comes of it, and hope you have fun trying this idea out yourself.